Well, everyone, our guest today is joining us fresh off the release of her newest album, Home Video, which came out just last month. It is truly a beautifully introspective project, and I am so excited to dive into that with her, to talk her musical influences, to talk what she's listening to now, and just everything in general. I know you all are super excited as well, so chat, please help me welcome Lucy Dacus. Lucy, hi, welcome to the stream.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I've never been on Twitch before.
Really? Oh, well, welcome.
This
Happy
is a
to
first.
have you here. How does it feel?
It feels good. It feels like the internet.
Good. It is the internet. And honestly, our chat, we've got some great people in the chat, and they really have been excited to see you. Someone just said,
Cool.
OMG, you're looking absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you very much. I just bought this necklace.
Oh, love.
so
From where?
I'm showing it off. Like a market. I live in Philly, and there was
nice.
an
I bet you
artisan.
have a lot of nice
I want that.
nice options there. We love. Someone in the chat, Indie Bindi, said it's so cute. I agree. And again, chat, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in. But I'm so happy to have you here on stream and just to chat with you about everything in general. I'd love to just start out hearing, how has the last year been for you? Congrats on the album release also. What does it feel like to have it out? How's it going?
Damn. I wish I could be real peppy about this answer, but the year has been really weird. I mean, I think it's been weird for most people.
Yes, it has.
I recorded this in 2019, and so to sit on it for so long was not great. I'm so happy it's out. I feel a great sense of peace
Yeah.
that it's like finally out. But it's also been a little bit harrowing because it's so personal. I'm starting to get like some feedback from people in my personal life. Some of it's very supportive, and other things, people are kind of mad at me. So I'm reckoning. I did it to myself, so I can't complain.
Well, I mean, it sounds good, so I would say that it's absolutely worth it. So,
Thank you.
at least you don't have to worry about that. And you mentioned that you made it in 2019. So what was that like to have a piece of, did 2020 change anything for you when you looked back at the work that you created in that year? Like, what was that like for you to kind of look back on something, especially considering you didn't know what was going to happen in 2020? So what was that like?
I think it just showed me that I'm always doing the same shit. Like, I'm always kind of retracing the past. A lot of people like had to move back in with their parents and stuff and were being really reminiscent, but I'd already finished this record that's like very reminiscent. I think I've just always gone there. I think I feel like a lot of safety in looking at the past. I don't know. And I kept doing that like as a coping device. I just like went back to my old journals and stuff.
Yeah. No, I really like that because I'm an extremely nostalgic person, and I just love living in the past and just like, oh, remember when blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
What's kind of your method when you're pulling from the past and you're writing and thinking about things? You said you like look back at old journals. Like, how do you get in that mindset to sit down and write something?
Honestly, it doesn't feel like it's a choice. Might sound weird, but I feel like I just get triggered. Then I'm like, what do I do with this energy? And then I write a song about it, just like a recovered memory. Most of the songs on the record were just like recovered memories that, in order to deal with the fact that I had the memory, I just wrote a song.
Yeah. No, I like that. And that's like a very healthy way to let it out too as well. But I like that you mentioned that because one thing, a lot of what I've been hearing on the album and also reading other interviews that you've done, it's very autobiographical. It's very intimate, very introspective. And so what is that like for you when you're writing about, it's so personal. What is that like for you when you're writing about personal stuff like that, but then also receiving that feedback? How do you as an artist deal with that, but still stay creative?
I think I'm figuring it out now, and I think that I used to be less creative because I was like watching out for other people's opinions too much, and not really about like the music, but like about the content, like people in my life. I think I've maybe never really cared that much what people think about the music. I had a fine job before this. I feel like I could be happy doing many different things. But yeah, I think like the past couple weeks, it's the first time I've actually had to deal with like hearing from the people that the songs are about. And a part of me like doesn't regret it, but I'm just like, damn, this really isn't easy. I wonder if it like feels worth it, but yeah, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, I can imagine. Do you feel like that will change anything about your, not that it should, but do you feel that will change anything about your approach to songwriting in the future too, or certain projects, or is it, or not really?
Well, I don't want to be like afraid. Like I feel like it's gonna take work not to just like crawl back into a shell and just like write about uh things that only pertain to me. Um so yeah, I guess I'm like in the middle of figuring it out. Hopefully I'll come up with something down the road. Like I feel like there's some big lesson just like churning that
Yeah,
I'll eventually know.
for sure. Well, I personally really enjoyed the album. I would love to have you
Thanks.
kind of talk through the theme of it for people who haven't heard it or aren't aware, because certain tracks, for example, VBS, which I'm assuming stood for Vacation Bible School, right? Or
Mhm.
Vacation Bible Study. You
Yeah.
know, I'm someone that also went to things like that, so like I am picking up what you're putting down.
Yep.
But if you could just kind of like talk through for people just like the theme of the album and the story that you're trying to tell on home video.
Yeah, so my dad took a bunch of home videos when I was younger, and I feel like I just learned to document my life through him documenting my life. And so I was writing these songs, and they're very specific stories, and they kind of feel like scenes of a movie or something. And they document like mostly friendships that I had from ages like 7 to 17. And they're not like really simple friendships. They're like maybe the friends that I'm still confused about like what went down between us. So the record's sort of like me reckoning with some uh stuff I still don't understand.
Yeah, for sure. And also to that point, someone in the chat asked, it's not funny how good Triple Dog Dare is. Song of the year, hands down. The song is so
Oh,
personal, and you obviously had a specific person in mind. Do you still keep in touch with them? How heavy of an impact have they had on your new album?
I don't. But yeah, it is a really specific person. I actually ran into her and her partner at a St. Vincent show in Richmond, and that's what prompted um Triple Dog Dare. I just basically was like, I forgot about you.
Ah,
Here you are in front of me. And the kind of realized that this like friendship that had gone bad, maybe there was like this romantic element that I didn't acknowledge. Um, so that's been like kind of hard to hold to like realize that maybe there was a point where like two lives split and like I could have admitted something to myself and had a much different life. But thanks for being nice about that song.
yeah. How do you feel like or do you feel like you've changed in terms of how personally you approach the songs that you write with this project versus your past projects?
Yeah, this one's far more personal. I think the other ones I was like writing about things I knew, but I would kind of obscure like who specifically the songs were about, um, because I didn't want what is happening. Like I was right. It's weird to just like be like, "Oh, I was protecting myself. I shouldn't be afraid." But then as soon as I like open up to it, it does kind of hurt. Um, I don't know. I want to continue to be really honest and like realize that it's my life and my perspective. I have a friend that told me that you should write like an orphan, which I think was a weird sentence to hear, but I think I kind of agree that like you should be able to write without anyone else's voice editing you.
I agree. I agree. And I think in a lot of the artists that we've had on here, a lot of the more veteran artists, one thing that they talk about a lot is kind of letting go of that and writing for themselves, not thinking about what anybody thinks and not really caring. How do you feel though, from a musical perspective? How have you seen your own choice to be super honest translate into the music that you're making? Like even just forgetting about everybody's thoughts on it and whatever. What difference do you see in terms of the type of music that you're putting out?
I think it's kind of funnier. Like I feel like I have a better sense of humor and I think that it sounds better. I don't know. I feel like the way I'm writing is so detail heavy that like the world is pretty distinct, which means that sonically we can be more like creative or like there's just a wider palette. Um yeah, it's been cool. And I've been writing obviously maybe for the past 2 years like since I recorded this last record, and I think I've like been continuing to do that. So I'm hoping that it holds up.
Yeah. Also, there's another chat question. We're getting some really great questions, chat, by the way.
Cool.
This album is one I'll go back to again and again and again. Thank you so much for crafting such a gift. What songs are you most excited to perform on tour?
Honestly, Triple Dog Dare's one. Partner in Crime, I'm excited about because of the auto tune. I think we're going to try to do it live. Um, and that was originally a mistake just because I sounded really shitty that day. We just kept it in because it sounded really good.
Yes.
And then also First Time. I feel like that one is kind of a banger.
Love that. Also, someone asked, keep them coming. Okay. Love Lucy's writing and hearing about what she's reading. Have you considered writing a memoir or fiction?
Oh, have I considered it? I just like don't know if I have the stamina. Like
Yeah.
I do. I feel like a writer more than a musician, but I feel like I'm also like maybe a little bit of a coward. And like I just I don't know. I like people that write books are alchemists. Like I really like I don't get how people can sustain a voice for that long. If I figure it out, I might do it. But I just feel like a weenie right now. I just feel scared. Like I feel scared to even try. So
Oh my goodness.
maybe one day.
And also someone in the chat, well, someone else asked what's your favorite venue in England, but someone else had asked if you're excited to tour in Europe. So both.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like even just for like what that would symbolize, like if it's safe to go to Europe, like that'll be such a like victory. Like we have tickets for sale. It's like 10 months away, so I don't know who knows what they're doing that far ahead of time, but favorite venue in England, I haven't been to that many, but we played Islington Assembly Hall. That was cool. Kind of felt like a gym, like a school gym.
Love that. And I had a question for you too. I mentioned VBS, Vacation Bible School. Would love to just hear more about that song, but also the music video is so beautiful. And I would love to just talk about how that song came together and also how the visual came together.
Yeah, so the whole recovered memory thing I was talking about, we were like driving to Nashville to record, and I saw an advertisement at a church for VBS, Vacation Bible School, and I just remembered, oh, my first boyfriend that I met at Bible camp snorted nutmeg. And like when we started dating, I was like, you can't smoke weed anymore, and he asked, can I keep snorting nutmeg?
I'm sorry, I have to ask a follow-up question about that. What?
Apparently it's hallucinogenic. I kind of think like if you're snorting anything, something's gonna make you feel weird.
How did he start doing that?
I don't know.
Do you know?
It's just like when parents don't talk to their kids, like the kids must resort to the internet. Like I'm sure it was like I want to do drugs. I like the idea of doing something bad.
But also I'm
like
hungry and I love
different.
desserts. So
yeah. So I don't know. I never did it, but I can't. So I can't like recommend, but I also can't say that it doesn't work. So yeah, I wrote this song just basically about that person and the setting of like being at church camp, which is just kind of an absurd setting. And then Marin Leong, who's like a longtime friend of mine, was like the creative director for the album cycle. She did the album art, and she's like a photographer, illustrator, animator, graphic designer, all around kind of like genius person. And the color scheme for everything was any color that the sky can make, which I thought was like a really nice palette. And we were like swapping ideas about like imagery that we both really love, like shadows and light through windows and the backs of heads and wind and flower petals. And she kind of just like tried to capture the tone of the song without like representing what happened in the song. So she like hand drew and animated that whole video herself, which if anybody's an animator on here, it's like incredible that she did that.
That is amazing. And it is a beautiful video, especially considering the name of the song and what it's about. Like the video is so much more beautiful than any memories I have of Vacation Bible School. So It just, and out of curiosity, this has nothing to do with the album, but are there,
Yeah.
like, do you remember songs? Like, do you have certain songs from then that are like forever lodged in your memory?
Yes.
I, yes.
Oh my god, it's like they'll never be gone. Actually, there I have a funny story of when I have another band, Boy Genius, with Phoebe
Mhm.
Bridgers and Julian Baker, and the three of us met up with Haley Williams for her record, and Julian and Haley are post-Christian kids also,
Mhm.
and for some reason someone started singing "Our God," and then everyone went,
Isn't
"Isn't awesome
awesome
God
God
He
he oh my
reigns!" Oh my
gosh.
god.
Oh
You know
god.
too. Yeah, but Phoebe like didn't know the song and she was like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck just happened? Like this is so scary." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is kind of scary." But
Oh my
yeah, you
gosh.
know it too. It's
Yeah,
just
it
like it'll
literally,
never be gone.
it's so crazy because there's certain songs that honestly, if you were to say the name, maybe I wouldn't know. But the minute you sing like one line, I'm like, something just like clicks on, and I'm like, I actually know all the words to the entire thing.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that really took me back. We had a moment
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's like there's like a chip implanted in us. Um,
Yeah, can't
that
get it out.
that is hilarious. How do you feel like though that just from again from a musical perspective, how do you feel like that impacted your relationship with music as an artist and as a musician, having been exposed to music at such a young age and also having to, I'm assuming it's kind of the same thing, like having to memorize a lot of music, having to be good at music in some respect at a very young age. How do you feel like that had an impact on you?
I feel like it made it seem like it wasn't a separate part of life. Like it made it a daily just like thing that you did as much as like doing dishes or anything. Um, I also don't think that my music sounds like Christian rock,
It does not.
but
It does not.
thank you. But I do think that like growing up singing songs that were supposed to have like a communicative purpose made me think about lyricism as like storytelling. Whereas like not all musicians have to tell stories. There's tons of music that I like that I realize I don't know the words because the words aren't the important part. But I think for me like the words are kind of the important part, and maybe I learned that from church. And also my mom did like musical theater, and I don't think my music sounds like musical theater either. But same deal where like the song has to move the plot forward in order for it to be like useful to the show. So
Yeah.
maybe.
That's interesting though, because that's exactly what I was wondering about. Not that I don't feel like your music at all sounds like church music. Not that there's anything wrong with church music, but just in terms of like having been exposed to all of that music and like constantly singing, I think that's a really good answer in terms of like every day we're singing a song that we even now as grown women remember all of the words to, which is really wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also read in an interview you had done or in an article about you a story about how I think like a pastor had made you delete every secular song on your iPod. But so that was another question I had. How do you feel like your taste in music and your relationship to it was shaped throughout your childhood, and did that change over time?
Yeah, so I listen to mostly like church music, top 40, musical theater, a melange that I don't re-enter ever anymore. But and then I had friends that were into like all time low, like just like that type of emo music, Panic at the Disco, My Chemical Romance vibe. So I was like, I'll get into this and be friends with my friends. And then I met some like kind of like cool boys that liked like classic rock. And so I got into classic rock. It was always about access. Like there's learning to love something that the people that you like love just like lets you have something in common and makes it easier to get to know somebody. Um, and once I got to high school, I had some friends that introduced me to like punk music and noise music. And my parents were really unhappy about that. And my mom even said things like, I don't even know you anymore. Like I'd be listening to like metal occasionally. Um, a lot of like Richmond local bands too. Like that was really important to me. I was realizing like, oh, people make music and share it where I live, and like I
Yeah.
can go just see them and I could talk to them. Like for the first time music felt like really tangible. And so I didn't really care like what genre it was or even if it was good music. The fact that it was like within reach made me love it. So I would listen to just bad music. I know now it's like bad music, and my mom would be very scared for me.
I mean, with all that being said, when was the first moment that you thought not only is music reachable in that way and you're listening to things that are tangible, but when was the first moment you thought, I could do this as an artist too? Even before you actually made stuff, but when it was like a kernel in your mind.
Yeah, I think that I wasn't so bold that I like said that to myself. I had to like have people bully me into doing it. Like I would show friends songs, but I didn't start playing shows until people were like, "Hey, an opener dropped off. We're making you show up. You have 20 minutes. Play some songs." And then I would just like practice and play solo. So I don't know. I kind of wish that I had like wanted it more because I would have felt less surprised and less like taken off guard. Like I wish that I had known to expect some of this. Um, Now I think I have my footing, but at the beginning I just like was totally thrown off that my life had taken this direction.
I mean, it took a great direction, so
Yeah,
thankful for that.
true.
And another chat question, someone had asked about the outro for the song Going, Going, Gone, where you thank everyone, and they were curious about kind of the process of you coming up with that.
We definitely didn't come up with it. It just happened. Basically, it was like this group vocal that nobody took photos of, which I'm so sad about, but it was like maybe a dozen or more really close friends, and then three guitarists around a mic, and then a mic in front of me. And we pushed record and just sang the song and then stopped. And that's what you hear. We like didn't really edit it that much, and there aren't like multiple takes. Um, so I was just like pleased and like that was great. And I didn't know that they were still recording, and I don't think that anybody else did either. And I just like fought to keep it. I was like, we that's like the sweetest moment of the whole record. And it's like very special to me because since it wasn't documented in other ways, it's like documented in the song itself.
Yeah, and that's super organic too, and I feel like you can feel that come through. What was on the videotape that 100 people got sent with the vinyl?
Oh, so that was Thumbs with like a loop. It was like a Thumbs is a song on the record. It was the first song we put out without like announcing the record. And it's because I've been playing it live for maybe a year and a half. And so I knew people knew about it. There's actually a Twitter called like, has Lucy released Thumbs yet? And so I knew people were expecting it, which kind of felt
I
like
love
pressure.
that.
Yeah. But yeah, I like basically wanted to give it to fans first, like the people who knew about it and were expecting it, like between the last record and this new one, just like a little like I see you and like thank you for caring type of thing.
I love that. And also, speaking of fans, someone had asked, I hope you're enjoying the fan submissions for the Brando music video. When are you planning to release the video?
Oh my god, there's so many. I like didn't realize.
How many did you get? Just out of curiosity, I feel like
I didn't check. There were so many even before the final submission day, and I know a lot of people submitted on the final day. So I haven't even watched them all. And I did say that I would. And so I like am trying to find time. But we are like editing it, and I do so many of them are cute. Like a lot of people brought in their pets, and some like couples did stuff, or some amazing soloists just went all out. People were unhinged.
We love to see it.
Yeah. It's really cute.
Nice. I love that. I love all of the well, you can't see the chat obviously, but like your fans are here and they are really, really enjoying just having you on and asking questions. And so thank you also to everyone in the chat who's been dropping questions in and everything too. And we'll actually have something for the people who are watching in the chat because we're going to be doing a segment called Dream Mixtape, which, as you know, I'm going to be asking you different prompts, and then we're going to be making a playlist that people can listen to on our Spotify of the songs that you select personally. So feel free to bring your own, wherever you listen to music and you keep your music, feel free to bring it out if you need them for reference. But I'm looking forward to it and the prompts. This is going to be your personalized dream mixtape. And then sometimes chat drops in like really cool ones too, which I think is fun, but
Cool.
We'll see. Take your time with this, and we're going to talk through, and I'll most likely be asking you why you selected them. So be ready. So the first one, if you had to listen to one album in its entirety for the rest of your life, what would it be? And then I'm going to ask you for your favorite song from it. Take your time. Feel free to weed through multiple options.
I feel like I want to pick something that's super long, but I can't think of something that's just like the practical side of me. I'll be honest, my first thought was my friend Haley Hendrix's record, I Need to Start a Garden, because it's reliably the album that makes me calm. It makes me feel like I can breathe again. I took a flight. I was actually in Nashville this morning. I'm in Philly now, and I listened to her record.
Get around.
I know. It's been a busy
amazing.
day.
What a day. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. But I listen to it whenever I get on a plane, and it's just like I return to it, and like it kind of resets me. So maybe that one.
I like that a lot. What's kind of the vibe of the album and the sound? I'm assuming very calming, but
so gentle, beautiful voice, kind woman. It's kind of like it's acoustic heavy. A lot of the lyrics are just like really about like taking care of each other, I guess.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is so nice. Oh my goodness. Do you have a favorite song from it?
The Bug Collector is really good.
I am going to listen to this after the stream. But
yeah, there's another song called Untitled God Song where she kind of describes like an alternative like vision of what God could look like, which that's my shit.
I really like that. Also, just the names alone here are doing it for me, so I cannot wait to listen to this. Oh my goodness. Yeah. All right, next, what is a song that's on repeat for you right now?
So there's this record that came out recently by Molly Drake, who is Nick Drake's mom, and it's kind of like songs that have been I guess salvaged from obscurity. But she has a song called Remember or I Remember, and the lyrics are just wild. There's like this lyric where she's like, I remember firelight, but you remember smoke. And it's like in this like 1930s, 40s type of vibe. I don't know. It's just like haunting.
I really, really like that. Who do you go to, would you say, or like what kind of music do you listen to? What artists do you gravitate towards when you're looking for kind of lyrical inspiration? Not for like what they're writing about, but how they structure their music. Who do you really admire in that respect?
I try not to be that inspired because I don't want to rip people off. So I usually go to like writers like book-wise, but early on when I started writing songs, Laura Stevenson was a huge inspiration because she doesn't give a shit about form. Like she's like, fuck a chorus, fuck a bridge. If you don't need them, like you don't need them.
I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like whatever she says is the next thing that occurred to her to say, like a conversation. And yeah, it made me feel engaged because I feel like you can subconsciously remember like pop format, and once you hear it, like you just expect like, okay, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus.
Yeah, and you kind of break free of that, which is nice. I feel like that's also what sets your music apart, is that it's not I don't want to say predictable, but it's not like it's genuinely different. You know what I mean? And it's not formulaic. And I feel like that's what I personally, as a music listener, am looking for when I'm like hearing music, and I'm like, it's like, oh, okay. You don't know what to expect next. But also that makes me wonder, because you've mentioned, someone in the chat had asked you about writing a book, and you mentioned you look at writers book-wise for inspiration. What do you feel like, what kind of books do you read? What are some of your favorites? And also, what are you getting from books that you bring into the music that you're writing?
I feel like I end up reading a lot of fiction. I also don't think that nonfiction is real. That is a hot take, I think.
Talk about it.
Literary. Yeah, I don't think it's real. But I listen to I read memoirs.
Ooh.
I think that I just like am always seeking that feeling of like somebody else putting to words what I've always felt but not been able to say.
Mhm.
And that's like in all media, I feel like that's like one of the most profound feelings is like, yes, like somebody did it. You know,
Mhm.
like I didn't see the way that they
But
did.
they,
Um, so yeah, I
yeah.
go
Wait,
to
what are some of your
authors.
favorite fiction books? Slash, like growing up, what books did you read? I just want to see if we
Um,
have any overlap.
I used to read over and over A Wrinkle in
Oh
Time.
my God, I love that book.
It's so good.
Classic.
Yeah, incredibly good. Tuck Everlasting.
Oh,
That's a book.
wow. Take me back.
Heartbreaking. Gosh, what else? I do you remember Stargirl
Ooh, wait, no, I don't.
at
But I'm
all?
literally gonna look it up right now.
It was like not maybe not as much of a classic, but I feel like that was the original quirky girl. Like and I read
I've
it
seen this
when I
book
was like in
before.
third grade. Yeah. Um gosh, what else? Charlie Bone. It was like knockoff Harry Potter.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
a
know.
question for you. Did you ever read Harry Potter? Did
I did.
okay.
Yes.
Was
Hmm.
were you allowed to, or was it? Because
Yeah,
I was
so
a
I
rebel and read it
wasn't, but
anyway.
then I just already had. I don't know. I had kind of like snuck read the first two, and by the time I was on the third one, my parents were like, "Oh, okay." Like my church said that kids shouldn't be allowed, but my parents like didn't always. Uh, they were like protective in some ways and totally not in other ways.
that that tracks. That tracks. I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear it.
Hmm.
I was the same way. Also read them. Um, someone in the chat did say love Tuck Everlasting, love Stargirl. Someone said Lucy seems like a Phantom Tollbooth kid. Can you confirm or deny?
No, I was thinking I should read that because people have told me that before.
Really? Wait,
Yeah, like
that's
I don't know why. I definitely read oh my gosh, the French one, The Little Prince.
oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's so sweet. I don't know why I always thought they were the same book when I was younger. So I thought I had read it, but I actually haven't. So maybe one day.
I love that. Also, someone in the chat, Whiskey TV asked, "Wait, did people in the U.S. not let their kids read Harry Potter? That's mental."
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
yes,
huge thing.
like
That was a huge thing.
almost like no one in my sphere read Harry Potter because churches like
Yeah, it was
across
like
the
a devil book
country,
as far as
yeah,
everyone was concerned.
like witchcraft. You know, it's funny. I've been thinking about like all of the embargoes on witch related stuff because they're like, oh, it's going to make you into a witch. And I was like, that's ridiculous. But now I like do tarot and like have a new moon coven. Like,
So
I
kind
like,
of.
were they right? Were they actually right? Maybe. I
Exactly. It
don't
was
know.
just a delayed thing. Also, at the
Yeah.
time, I was like, please make me a witch. Please make me a witch because I read so much Harry
Please.
Potter.
Oh my
So I
God.
wouldn't have been mad at it. But,
Yeah. No, me
you
neither.
know, let's see. What do we have next? A song that unlocks your inner child. Speaking of.
Inner child. Um, okay, my funny answer is the entire Phantom of the Opera soundtrack.
Oh my gosh, I
Because
love the Phantom of the Opera.
that's the first music that made me cry,
Oh my
like on
goodness.
it for emotional reasons. Like I just like my parents had it as a CD, and I would just like push play on it and lay on my floor, like that meme of the girl in the puddle.
Yes.
I that was me, just like, um, maybe that's just a good enough answer.
No, I love that. Do you have a specific song? Like when I think of like the opening, like the Phantom of the. Do you have a
Yeah.
specific one or?
You know what I might say actually, which is uh not exactly Phantom of the Opera, but Minnie Driver sang a song called Learn to Be Lonely for the movie of Phantom of the Opera because she was the prima donna. And it's about learning to live with no, like, have no one love you.
Oh, wow.
How sad is
I
that? I
know.
remember as a
That's like,
kid just being like, that is brutal.
yeah, like that really. Oh, wait. Someone in the chat asked, and I had the same question. What's your favorite musical?
Okay. Gosh. Um, I had an iconic summer where I was in the ensemble of Spring Awakening with my mom was like music directing and I had a bunch of friends in it, and I feel like I just need to say that one because it had like such a huge impact.
Is that the one you feel obligated to say, or is that like your actual favorite?
I don't know. I don't listen to any musicals anymore. It's weird. I do equate them with church. Like it feels like such in a similar world to me.
I could see that actually.
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe there's probably some like classic one that I like better that I'm not thinking of.
Oh, that's fair. If it comes to you, let me know. I love a musical.
Okay.
So
Cool.
a song you'd scream along to in the car
Scream along to
or yell, you know.
I have a memory of singing All My Friends by LCD Sound System with my bassist, and it's not like really scream, but just turn it up really loud and sing really loud along. There's that line in that song that's like, I wouldn't trade one stupid decision for another 5 years of life. I love that lyric. James Murphy is good at songs.
I also really love like every song that you've mentioned, and you mentioned this earlier in the interview too, but like how much you look at lyrics and words specifically. Every song, you not only like the song, but you're like, and this specific line of it, which I really, really like. Had I known that, I would have put this in here. Do you have like a favorite lyric in general?
In general, maybe in Jungleland, Bruce Springsteen, he has that line about like, it's not even the lyric itself, but the idea like the poets around here don't say nothing at all. They just stand back and let it all be. I just remember like hearing and understanding that as a kid and feeling like, why aren't the poets talking like that? I was like, oh, that's what a poet is for. And if a poet isn't doing that, that is a huge loss. That's like a disservice to everyone.
Yeah.
If like poets aren't telling the truth, that sucks.
Do you feel like that's informed the way you look at telling the truth in your music now?
Maybe, yeah. Like, I don't know. I simultaneously like don't want to take myself too seriously, but also want to adequately wear the responsibility that I think I have by like having people listening to me. So, yeah, I think it probably has affected me.
I like that. I think we just had a breakthrough. I like that.
You saw it like in
I was like, let's bring it out. Mm-hmm. So next, a song no one would expect you to like. Like this is like gonna be the most surprising one.
Oh, I feel like there's a really good answer for this.
Take your time. Take your time. I want you to really dig deep.
I will. In fact, I wonder if I should
pull it out. Yep. If you got a playlist or anything, now's the time.
I'm gonna look at my Spotify.
Yes.
Do you have one while I'm looking?
Yes. Like, probably like. Well, John knows this, like Bad Moon Rising by Creedence Clearwater Revival. Like things like that, or like Sweet Home Alabama that I have no business listening to. I just like them. I really do.
That's so awesome.
And listen to them pretty regularly.
Oh my God, I do have one.
Yes.
My house has been, getting into pop country a little bit. And like I'm late to it. Like they all are ahead of me, but there's this band Hardy, and they have a song called He Went to Jared, and it's like about how this guy's like kind of like rough and tumble, and then his ex like finds this like slick rich guy to marry, and like the end of the chorus is like, he went to Jared, I went to the bar. And it's like so brutal and stupid.
Wait, that is kind of hilarious also because that is perfect. Like that's a perfect ad for the jewelry store, which is I'm assuming what they're talking about. But
yeah, he went to Jared, I went to the bar.
I like that. I like that line actually. I like that.
Yeah. It's all very clever. If you listen to it, it's
wordplay.
Pop country is very clever.
Wordplay. It's deep. A song you'd show a pilgrim. Now, I'd like to specify, let's say a pilgrim, I couldn't fit the whole explanation on the slide. Let's say a pilgrim time travels to 2021. This is the first song you're showing them, whether to shock them or to impress them, whatever reaction you want them to have. This is what you're playing for them.
I'm just like trying to think of a song that would make the pilgrim go home. Like, go away. This was a bad
Like,
idea.
enough, don't come back here.
Yeah,
Two people
like,
in the chat
what?
have said WAP,
Yeah.
which is hilarious.
Or something. I'm trying to like some like just loud death metal song that would just scare them back over the ocean. Okay, but I think the crux of your song is like to surprise somebody not from our era.
Yeah.
So
Or make them stay. It's up to you and your relationship with the pilgrim. That's all. Someone said, but if they start headbanging though.
Yeah. Maybe I will. I'll do like Angel of Death by Slayer.
Ooh.
I think that would really surprise a pilgrim.
That absolutely would. If John were here, he would love that, my co-host.
Cool.
Great answer. A song that you feel like captures your alter ego.
Ooh, which alter ego?
Ooh, listen, are there more than one? Please continue.
There's a version of me called Sleepy Lucy, which I get blackout tired and I lose my memory. Like it's like being blackout drunk. And so I feel like I could represent her. But I've recently been evolving into like Bimbo Lucy. I feel like I've been in my head for most of my life. Like I feel like I'm just like a big thinker and I'm trying to like have like empty head.
Just like
no thoughts.
Float through life. No thoughts, just vibes.
I'm trying to get better at empty head. So I feel like I want to pick like a bimbo.
Pick both. I personally now need to hear a song for both now that you've described both of them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So for Sleepy Lucy, I'll do I'd Rather Be Sleeping by Grouper.
Perfect.
Which incredible song and album. Bimbo Lucy, I mean, I hardly know her so far. But maybe like an ABBA song.
I love ABBA.
Yeah, I mean, I have a housemate who they love ABBA, and they've like shown me the way. We actually did a double feature of Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia 2. I don't know if you've seen either of these.
I haven't seen Mamma Mia 2, but I would go see the musical Mamma Mia performed. I've seen it multiple times. So
2, the premise, like Meryl Streep's character is dead. So if you watch them, and it was made 10 yeah, maybe this is too much, but it's not a spoiler. Like it's the premise of the movie. But it's like 10 years after they filmed Mamma Mia 1. So if you watch them back to back, like you can see more wrinkles on people's faces. You can see that every actor has aged. It was just like really unexpectedly emotional. Anyways, maybe I do like what's a good ABBA song?
I love SOS. I love Lay All Your Love on Me. I have a whole playlist myself of ABBA songs.
You should pick the ABBA song.
No. It's all you. Don't let me.
What about like? I think SOS is a great choice.
I love those songs.
Yeah.
I went through a very intense ABBA phase for some reason in high school. I don't know what I was going through, but I was listening to a lot of ABBA. Great music. Oh my goodness. Someone said
I love emotional support ABBA. Like that idea is good to me.
Exactly. Just staring, dramatically out of the window, listening to SOS. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Dancing Queen, another great one. Someone in the chat said.
Yeah.
Also someone in the chat said that's a spicy double feature. Mamma Mia 1 and 2. I agree.
Yeah, I thought that you meant Sleepy Lucy, Bimbo Lucy as the double feature, which I don't know. It works
both ways, honestly. Chiquitita, emotional support ABBA.
Yes,
all ABBA
that's
is emotional
a really
support
good
ABBA.
one.
Wow, Waterloo. Okay, a lot of ABBA fans. I mean, I feel like everyone likes ABBA, but anyway. Great suggestions, chat. By the way, love that. Okay, so we have a few more. Let's see. I was making sure. Your favorite song that you've ever made. Just dropping a little bit of you in this playlist.
I have to think. Probably Triple Dog Dare, the last song on the record. Maybe Thumbs. I felt like that was maybe like the most important song I've ever written to myself.
Mm.
Like it was important to me that I wrote it.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that answer.
Hmm.
Someone said Lucy has taste confirmed. They were excited about that answer.
About ABBA or about my own song?
I think about your own song, but I'd like to think ABBA.
Yeah.
All right, your guilty pleasure song, which
Mm.
is different than the song no one would expect and different than the alter ego song to me, because I picture this as the song that like I listen to in an incognito browser. I don't want to mess up my algorithm
Oh.
because of it.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes you that changed
Yeah.
things.
I'm oh. Um okay. This is I don't know if anyone knows the song. It's Chelsea Hotel by Darwin Dees. Um yeah.
How
I
do
actually don't listen to it that much, but there was like I just had like a personal connection to that song. Somebody showed me that song who I don't really like to remember, but sometimes I like to make myself feel bad and weird, and so I'll just do it to myself.
exactly? Just a little, get a little
Yeah.
fix. What did the chat
Mhm.
say? Someone in the chat said Kid Leroy. Someone said they love that song. Someone said Azalea Banks music. LOL. She's got some bangers. Me.
Hmm.
Hickey Duet said Darwin D's at Rough Trade was the best show I went to in 2018.
Wow, that's cool. Shout out Darren Dees.
So look
I
at
I like I loved his music at a time. I haven't kept up with him. I should like check out if he's made more stuff.
now's the time. Now's the time. I now just out of curiosity, do you have any songs that you're like that you do feel not guilty about that you're like, oh, I wouldn't want anyone to know that I'm listening to this? I guess if you did, you wouldn't want to announce it here, but
Um kind of I don't know if I do. I feel like I'd be more interesting if I did, but
oh no. That's a good
I
thing.
think that like whenever I feel like guilt is actually too pervasive for me that I just would not make the jump to actually listening to it.
That is fair. Meanwhile, I'm over here listening to all sorts of things like delete, delete, delete.
Hmm.
All right, last one on the mixtape. Your favorite song of all time.
Oh, um,
Take your time. Someone in the chat actually said, I used to get bullied for liking Taylor Swift in school. LOL. That used to be my guilty pleasure. Oh,
aw.
gosh.
I feel like my guilty. Well, no, I won't even. I'm too guilty to say. I really am. I like it's too real. Um, favorite song of all time. It's annoying. Uh, that I'm gonna say this. I'm trying to think of anything else to say. The only thing that's occurring to me to say is my own band's song, a Boy Genius song, Ketchum, Idaho, just because, like, I'm glad that we're a band. How lame is that?
No,
I'm
that's a
trying to
great
think, like,
answer.
I'm literally trying to think of anything else to
No,
say,
that's
but
a
I
great
think,
answer.
like, I don't know, because I'm glad we're a band and that we're friends.
I love that answer. Also,
Mhm.
everyone in the chat is very happy you gave that answer. So I say
Oh,
stand by it.
cool.
Someone said there's no lie there. I agree. Look at that.
Nice.
I love that
Thanks,
answer.
everybody.
There we go. Non-scripted, honest answers. Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
Well, I am really excited for this mixtape. We are putting together the playlist right now and gonna drop in the chat. Oh, it's already there. We just dropped the link to the mixtape in the chat, and we will send it to you as well, Lucy, so you can take a listen to it. And I'm so glad we got to like go through this playlist together. I really enjoyed it. Now I'm curious too. How do you feel like your taste in music has changed over the years? Has it expanded, changed, flipped? I know you don't listen to musicals anymore. Things like that.
Yeah, it's definitely changed. Like there's just new stuff all the time, and um, the thing that has really changed is that I listen to way less music now. I think I really am like afraid of ripping people off, or also like I do it as my job, and so uh, I think I listen to music differently than I used to. but it makes it really special when I really connect to something and get that feeling of like how it used to feel to listen to music, where it like wasn't an obligation, it was just like fully a discovery thing. Like I'll recommend Bartees Strange on here. He's opening for me
Yes.
on tour, but I just think when I listen to his record, it gave me that like feeling in my chest of like youth, just like listening to Pandora and like a song coming on that you didn't expect to hear, that you're just like, this is everything. Um, so yeah, I don't listen to music as much, but it makes what I do listen to feel like more special or something.
I really like that. Also, that's such strong praise. Like to hear an artist say another artist makes them like feel it. Like that's the kind of reaction that I like having from music. That's when you really, really know. And you said he's opening you for you on tour. I would love to hear all about the upcoming tour plans. I know people had been asking before, but for people who were just tuning in, and also just so we know, when are you going on tour? Where will you be?
So I think I start tour in like a little over a week on the East Coast.
Oh,
We're
wow,
playing.
that is exciting.
I don't really even know what to think about it. We're doing some shows that were supposed to happen in 2020. So they were booked like years ago now with Bright Eyes. And so we're making good on the Bright Eyes tour, and that'll be really fun. And then in the fall we're doing like a full US tour, headlining tour. And the first half is with Bachelor, which is like the Pale Hound Jason
Yeah, we
band.
had them on the stream a few weeks ago. Actually,
Hell
their
yeah.
new album is great.
Ugh, I love them. Yeah. And then Bartees Strange is the other half of the tour with a couple like stray openers. But it's a full US, so it's supposed to be like if you live anywhere, there should be a show nearby. And there's some places that we skipped that I didn't want to skip, but we'll hopefully catch them at a different time.
I love that. Everyone in the chat is super excited. Someone said excited for Charlottesville. See you in Philly.
Nice.
See you in LA, Dublin.
Oh, and we're going to Europe March and April of 2022.
That is
So those are
so.
on
How does it
sale
feel
also.
to not only be going on tour again, but also you're going like next week, basically, or week after next? I did not expect you to say that soon.
I don't think I like feel it as real. Like that does not seem real. I mean, it's cool like that the vaccine works and that we can do it. Like I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't feel like it was really safe. But we played one show. We played at Red Rocks, which is like outdoors, and I wept like stupid, ugly crying, like through night shift, like night shift. Like it was ugly. It was like it was so bad that I actually laughed in the middle of crying, and I like asked the crowd to help me sing because I just like couldn't do it.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that they might be really sloppy
No.
shows, but it will probably feel good ultimately.
I'm sure it's going to feel amazing. And also for the fans, just judging by literally someone just said, OMG, I would die to be there. I'm just judging from the comments from the fans. I just know that people are going to be so excited to see you in person. And I'm excited for you to get to go out in person. Do you have any other plans in terms of like for the rest of the year? What's next for you besides touring? Any new music? I know you just had something released, but are you already